Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 93 of the Social Liability Podcast, the podcast where we discuss those folks in our lives that violate the social contracts that we all agree to live by. I am your host, The Raspberries, with my co host, The Buck, bringing you new and interesting stories from the far reaches of the internet. Buck, we have some disgustingness, truly some disgustingness. And we also have some stories that were submitted by a good friend of the show's for this episode. I think we're going to start out with the most disgusting one we've ever had, though, Buck. Truly, it might be the most disgusting story we've ever had on the show.
That's strong, dude. 90, what? 93 episodes?
We are 93 episodes in, yeah.
Yeah. And we're 93 episodes, folks, that's a long time. If you're going to go ahead and assert that this is the most disgusting we've had, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go ahead and take off.
Well, this story comes from the New York Post. I can't even say it. It's a state. Louisiana teacher admits giving kids cupcakes laced with husband's sperm. A sick Louisiana teacher has pled guilty to giving her students cupcakes with her husband's sperm. Cynthia Parker, 36, admitted to a slew of disturbing sex crimes, including child pornography, second-degree rape, and mingling of harmful substances. I have no idea what that... Each state usually has a law about tampering with someone's food, and I guess that's what it is in Louisiana. She is set to take a plea deal in Livingston on Monday. The teacher and her now ex, Dennis Perkins, were arrested in 2019 on more than 150 sex-related charges, including sexually abusing a child together. Cynthia was also hit with the harmful substance charge after she put Dennis's sperm into cupcakes that she gave to her students at Livingston Westside Junior High School. Under the plea deal, Cynthia had 68 other charges against her dismissed and will have to testify against Dennis at his upcoming trial. She not only waived any right to appeal and attempt to avoid conviction, but she also spared the victims from reliving the horrific crimes during this particular trial, said the Attorney General from Louisiana. Cynthia will be sentenced to 41 years in prison on Friday, authorities said. She filed for divorce from her husband in the wake of the arrests and alleged that Dennis had manipulated her into committing the crimes. The couple were busted after authorities received a tip at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators later found nude photos of them with the minor. Cynthia reassigned from Westside Junior High School the day after her arrest, while Dennis was fired from his deputy role at Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office. Dennis is scheduled to face trial in May on 150 criminal charges. So you think that ranks
5.
Up? Yeah.
5.
It's a 5 all day long, but
I just wanted to get that right out of the gate. 5. There's just holy crap-a-roo, dude.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Oh, ho, ho.
But I love how they wait till the very end of the article to say, oh, by the way, he was a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? That's clever literary device there, man. Like little shock factor. Woo.
I think that's a pretty big deal.
We got a sheriff's deputy and a fucking teacher. We got a sheriff's deputy and a teacher.
Yeah.
One who's supposed to protect the masses and one who's supposed to mold the future. What an interesting way to contribute to every PSA that will ever be written. Holy crap.
It really is. I mean, when I say it was the most disgusting story, you thought I was thinking some physically disgusting. No, this is makes you actually disgusted to hear it. Of everything they did. I know they're sensationalizing the whole cupcake thing, but they're finding that these two raped children, let alone that they fucked up some cupcakes. But they were raping children, taking pictures of it, making pornography. And these are people that are supposed to be the protectors of children. They should, this is their job. They're both there to protect children. And instead, they are getting their sexual kicks from them.
Yeah. I mean, there's wow. Just
See,
wow,
we,
wow,
we
wow.
typically pick these stories because it's like, well, let's find something here we can joke about and make fun of, And no, not so much with this one. This is positively disgusting.
It really that it's wow. Like I don't even want to like try and make fun of these people. Like that there's a time and a place for humor, but wow. This is not it. There is nothing good or
Amusing.
remotely amusing to extrapolate from this entire shit blizzard. Like no, these people are scumbags.
Yeah,
Like
and
eh,
she's talking protective custody for the rest of her goddamn life, him too, if he doesn't hang up, because that's a very real possibility, I would think.
and I'm actually inclined to not agree, but just with the little information that we have, that she was coerced or manipulated into these acts with him. I, I, I almost want to believe that. Like, I kind of almost want to believe that. Now I'm just, and that's an afterthought. Like, regardless, it doesn't matter whether she manipulated into it or not. She, you're a scumbag. That's long and short of it. It's just as an afterthought, I'm like, I wonder if you know, hmm, it doesn't change anything. Like I said, just afterthought. But either way, five all day long. These people are reprehensible human beings, and really just move on.
Well, our next story comes from NewsNationNow.com. Arizona priest resigns after thousands of invalid baptisms. Now, uh, Buck, I'm not sure if you're comfortable with me asking this, if how much you know about Catholic baptisms.
Lots.
Go on, extrapolate.
Well, I mean, like baptism happens typically in the Catholic faith, from what I recall, right after shortly after birth,
Okay, so Buck
and
doesn't know nearly enough. Anybody of the Christian faith participates in baptisms, not just Catholics. Just remember that all Catholics are Christian, but not all Christians are Catholics. Baptism can occur at any time. Most people like to have their babies baptized, but it can happen at any time. It can happen in your 30s. It doesn't matter. Uh, this is a huge problem for the Catholic Church, especially, but any denomination of the Christian religion, because the church is what actually whether you are married or not according to the state matters not to the Catholic Church. It is all about them. So if you marry while you're in the Catholic Church and then you go down to the judge and you get a divorce, doesn't matter. The Catholic Church still considers you to be married because there isn't they don't believe in divorce. Annulments perhaps, but that is not an annulment like the judge would issue. This is an annulment that the church would issue. So you get a divorce while you're still committing adultery, even if you've remarried 10 years later, had three more kids, it's adultery because you're still married to that original woman. So a lot of things happen with Catholic baptism. A Catholic priest in Arizona has resigned following a church investigation that found that he performed thousands of invalid baptisms through most of his 20-year career. The baptisms were deemed invalid due to the wording used during the religious ceremony. Father Andres Arango, who performed thousands of baptisms, would say, "We baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." But according to Bishop Thomas Olmsted of the Diocese of Phoenix, the words "we baptize" should have been "I baptize." In a statement obtained by Nation News, the diocese said the issue with using "we" is that it's not the community that baptizes a person, rather, it is Christ and Him alone who will preside over all the sacraments. Shrugging off the invalid baptisms isn't an option for most worshippers because it affects sacred practices of for Catholics, such as confirmation and communion, and according to the Diocese of Phoenix, that confusion could also affect marriages. Arango has apologized for his mistake in a statement saying, "It saddens me to learn that I have performed invalid baptisms through my ministry as a priest regularly using an incorrect formula." The diocese is aware of the confusion and that may cause parishioners and has set up a website for anyone who believes they have an invalid baptism. The diocese says baptisms that Arango conducted after June 17th of 2021 are presumed to be valid, but anything before that, you know. So
Well,
uh,
well,
this,
at
this
least at
this dude
least
was doing this for 20 years, and now if followers of the Catholic faith, all of a sudden, they could have been baptized 20 years ago, but now everything they've done up into their life now could be, invalid according to the church. And if you're a staunch follower of the church, then that is a huge, huge problem for you. But
what if one of those invalid baptism recipients grew up and became a priest?
dun dun dun.
I'm telling you what, man, we may have just uncovered like a huge rip in the Catholic space time continuum. Oh, like you've done irreversible damage. Like you've made priests that have conducted baptisms which are now all invalid. Ugh. Shame. Like there could be irreparable damage on a scale of which you will never know.
Let alone all the kid touching and stuff, whatever.
You know what though? See, I might be a very poor person to really deliver any commentary on this because of my own like very loose and liberal religious beliefs because in my eyes the almighty would be like, okay, I get what you were doing, there's been a lot of damage here, and you know due to other acts and stuff like that, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a mulligan on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and wash the slate clean, get it right from here on forward. You've stuck your foot in it. We're going to clean your shoe off and you keep on walking. Like like that's how I would view the Almighty's, perspective on this situation. It's like he's a good dude. Like he didn't purposely do this. There's no malice here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wave my finger on this one and just make it so. Like it's all right. Well, just like I
I
just
mean, at some
I
point,
really
considering the vast number of their faithful who are going to be affected by this, could the Pope not just step in and say, you know what?
yeah.
I talked to the dude last week. We're good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all right, had a discussion up there, and judge ruled that we're okay. Thumbs up. We're gonna go ahead, slap on the wrist. Shame on you, but you'll get it right from here on out. And the whole premise behind forgiveness and repentance is benefit of the doubt. So we'll just keep on plugging along, doing my good old work. You know, like where is the Pope? Like what? Yeah, where is he? Like he should be like, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. The Pope should have stepped in and been like, all right, this hat ain't heavy for a reason.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna take. I'm
it
gonna
is a hell.
take.
It is a hell of a hat.
So yeah, I'm gonna take this thing off, and then we'll just replace it with a different burden for now. Let's take this elephant one bite at a time. If I got to sign off on a whole shit ton of paperwork, let's do it. I have a hard time giving this guy like anything that even resembles a score. I'm just gonna have to follow your lead on this one because I have a hard time. Yeah, I just have a hard time with it. My wrapping my mind around it.
Right on.
I just do.